Hey 49er fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Chat Sports. Before we start today's video, I want your thoughts on the following question down below in the pinned comment section. What should the 49ers do at quarterback? Type D for draft, T for trade, or J for Jimmy Garoppolo, as he seems to be the in-house favorite, at least what we're hearing. We'll talk more about that here in today's video. I want your thoughts, though. I'm going to look at those and possibly reply to them down below in the pinned comment. Today's video is, of course, brought to you guys by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/49ers for 20% off your first order, plus free shipping. The link is down below right now in the description box. Again, manscaped.com/49ers for that free shipping plus 20% off. All right, so as we mentioned, 49ers news, rumors, that's every Monday now here on the 49ers Report. We get you guys up to date on everything going on in San Francisco. Let's start with John Lynch, who was asked this week about drafting a quarterback and seemed to say what Kyle Shanahan has said. No, not really looking like we're going to go ahead and do that, despite plenty of other rumors saying Zach Wilson wants to be here, Trey Lance, blah, blah, blah. Here's what John Lynch said. Essentially, doesn't see them drafting one in the first round. Didn't officially rule it out, but he kind of put a lot of, let's say, cold water on the hot draft rumors that are starting to swirl right now regarding San Francisco and drafting a quarterback. Now, Lynch could be telling the truth, or he could be bluffing, so we got to kind of take that into consideration. But I'll read you the comment, let you guys take it, your own gander at what he said, and make your own thoughts from it. Quote, "We certainly could select a quarterback. I don't anticipate that right now, but we're so early in the process, we'll do what's best for this team. I do want to make it clear, and I think Kyle and I have been fairly transparent since we've been here. We have a lot of belief in Jimmy Garoppolo. Where does that come from? It comes from the sample that we have, and where he's been out there and we've been better, we've been successful." And again, this goes on many videos in the past that I've done here where we've cited George Kittle backing Jimmy Garoppolo, and of course Kyle Shanahan backing Jimmy Garoppolo. Now John Lynch has done it yet again. You guys buying the 49ers backing Jimmy G? What do you guys think? You buying it? Is it smoke? Do they want to try to trade him? Who knows? Type Y if you back him and are buying the 49ers backing Jimmy G. Type N if you do not think that they are, or at least you aren't buying it overall. Listen, I've said for many weeks, a long time, I bet Jimmy Garoppolo's quarterback one in 2021. It's the easiest thing for the 49ers to do to get back to winning. Yes, there are plenty of options out there in terms of signing a Dak Prescott or trading for Deshaun Watson. Talk about that more in a second. Trading for Carson Wentz or Matt Ryan or Matt Stafford. Drafting Trey Lance. Drafting Kyle Trask. I mean, there are so many different options at quarterback right now, but all of them require either giving up something, giving someone a bigger contract, using draft capital, or, of course, just going ahead and making a big-time trade, whereas Jimmy Garoppolo requires nothing. You don't have to redo his contract. His contract is going to remain the same regardless. You could move some money around to make money for more free agents, but he is on the roster, and he's on the roster through the next year, and so it just makes a lot of sense. The Niners have other needs that they need, cornerback, in-house free agents, left tackle. They can just stay where they're at in the draft, take the best player available, get healthy, and then go back to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo as they did just a year away. Now, we've talked about drafting quarterbacks. I'm sure we'll talk plenty more about other rumors suggesting they might draft one. Here, of course, is the big board I keep showing you guys. No chance at Lawrence, no chance at Fields. Your next three are Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Trey Lance. You can throw Kyle Trask in there as well. Listen, I mean, the big board can change. It doesn't really matter. This is how I view them overall and ranking them. I think Mac Jones has a real chance on Monday night in the national championship game to look great against Ohio State and further up his chances of being a first-round quarterback. But as I will keep saying, Garoppolo was injured this year. He does have an injury history, but when healthy, and he was healthy all of last year, they were 10 points up in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl against probably the best quarterback we've seen in a very long time in Patrick Mahomes. They almost won that game, and Garoppolo was a big reason why they got to that place in the first place. And so we'll see what happens, but I feel very strongly that Garoppolo will be quarterback number one in 2021. Now, you're probably saying, Thomas, what about Deshaun Watson? You mentioned Deshaun Watson in a video the other day. I watched it. Yes, I'm sure like 30,000 of you guys have already watched that video. Deshaun Watson is an option, but I keep saying the package is going to be unbelievably expensive. Like, it's going to cost literally everything to go ahead and trade for Deshaun Watson. And so that's why I want to bring up this segment here, because I found multiple potential trade packages online. I'm going to show and share with you guys just to kind of show you what it would legitimately cost to go ahead and trade for a quarterback of the caliber, youth, and really contract of Deshaun Watson overall. Again, the Niners keep being linked to Watson. I saw a bunch of former 49ers tweeting this week, if you get Deshaun Watson, you're going to be invincible. That might be true, but it's going to cost a lot. It's going to cost a ton to go ahead and trade for Deshaun Watson. Before I show you exactly what it would cost. Go ahead and give me what you would give. What's the most you would give for Deshaun Watson? Down below in the comments section. You can include players, you can include draft picks. The most that you would be willing to give up, let me know what that is down below. Okay, so we already know Deshaun Watson, an absolute beast. He was on a terrible football team this year and still threw 33 touchdowns. We understand that. So the cost is, well, one of these 4 mock trades. Let's get to the first one. How about this? Star for star. Watson, and a 2022 third, the Texans get Nick Bosa, this year's first and next year's first. Yes, I've seen that floated out there as a potential trade package for Deshaun Watson. Would you be willing to give up Nick Bosa for Deshaun Watson? Man, that's tough, but that would be, honestly, a big-time get for the Texans and try and even this trade out a lot because they're assuming Watson is worth 3 or 4 first-round draft picks. How about another star? 49ers get Watson in a 2022 fourth. The Texans get Fred Warner, this year's first, the 2022 first, and then the 2024 first-round draft pick. Yes, that is the kind of compensation we are trying to, I should show you guys what it would cost to go ahead and trade for Deshaun Watson. How about another one? How about you give them Jimmy Garoppolo? Well, if you do that, you have to give them our first this year, our first next year's second, and the 2024 first-round draft pick as well. Are you getting the picture? It's expensive. I would love Deshaun Watson, but goodness gracious, you want to trade for him straight up here? How about this? No players involved. This year's first, this year's second, next year's first, the year after that's first, and 2024's first. I will literally be, let me do the math here, almost 28 years old? By the time you would get in their first-round draft pick, 29 years old, 2024 is like 3 years away. It's unbelievable. I'll be 29. I'll be almost 30 by the time they're able to go ahead and get another first-round draft pick if they wanted to do this kind of mock trade. So there's an example. I wanted to show you guys what it would cost to go ahead and trade for Deshaun Watson. I'm not saying I'm against it, because if Watson continues to play as well as he has, then maybe he is worth it. You imagine him in the Kyle Shanahan offense, it's ridiculous, but man, you have to give up a lot because that is the kind of mock trade capital, draft capital we've seen hinted so far in terms of San Francisco getting him and his services. Let me ask you guys this. Should you, ask you again, this is a pinned comment from down below earlier. What would you do at quarterback? Draft, trade, if you want Watson, type T, or keep Jimmy Garoppolo, type J down below. Before we keep going, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor for today's video, Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/49ers for 20% off your first order plus free shipping. Get the perfect package that includes the Lawnmower 3.0. Used it yesterday. Of course, all the different deodorants, the carrying case. It's a fantastic deal, and it's 20% off plus free shipping. Again, manscaped.com/49ers is the place to go ahead to pick that one up. Okay, our final little bit of news here is regarding Wade Phillips as the potential new defensive coordinator. As Robert Saleh continues to interview for head coaching jobs, the Niners are increasingly probably in the need of a new DC. And Wade Phillips had kind of a weird, cryptic tweet that hinted at him potentially going to a team like San Francisco. I'll break that all down here in a second, although, as I've said before, I'm not really sure if Wade is the right fit. He was in my rankings I did a couple of days ago, but he wasn't high, as I'm more of a fan of, 4-3 defensive coordinators who would fit with the current roster in San Francisco. Make sure you guys are subscribed, though, before we get into the cryptic tweet here, because listen, this is why you should be subscribed. If we break this stuff down, we go to crazy lengths to make sure you guys are up to date on the 49ers, and I appreciate you guys subscribing. The 31,000 that are already there, let's keep going, get that up to maybe even 35,000 here by the start of the NFL draft. Okay. Here's a tweet. It's weirdly worded and spaced out, but I'll break it down for you after reading. Quote, if you're wondering, it can be done. Changed from 4-3 to 3-4. Of course, he says the Texans did it, 10-6, playoff win. The Broncos did it, won a Super Bowl. And, of course, the Rams did it, won the division champs. Of course, they struggled the year before in 2016. And then it's kind of funny. Our own Mitcha Renz, the current host of the Raiders report here on YouTube and Chat Sports said this, quote, Wade, the spacing in this tweet is less organized than Paul Guenther's defense, and Wade did actually respond and like that tweet, which is pretty funny, but this is a cryptic tweet because the Niners currently run a 4-3. Now, if you're not familiar with defenses, you go 4 defensive linemen, you see them right here, and then 3 linebackers. That's what the Niners have been doing for the past couple of years. And Wade is suggesting, because his defensive scheme is a 3-4, that you can convert 4-3s to 3-4s and have success. The problem is the 49ers do not have a true nose tackle to play the interior defensive tackle in a 3-4. They don't have anyone big enough. They have a bunch of pass rushers, but they don't have anyone big enough to go ahead and be that nose tackle. Even Kinlaw, to me, is a little bit too small. So you have to figure out what you do for a big big run-stopping D tackle, maybe you look in the draft, maybe you go elsewhere. But this is interesting that Wade Phillips would essentially hear the criticism of the fact that he can't change a 4-3 to a 3-4 and prove that teams, including himself, have done it successfully there in the past. I wouldn't be against Wade Phillips. Again, he's not high on my list. I'd rather just keep a 4-3 guy because we're built for a 4-3 and have been for really the past couple of years, including what they've done in the draft. I would need to know that Phillips can successfully convert this defense, and if he can, then I'm all for it. If he can't, then it's like, I'd rather go somewhere else. Now, ask you guys this. Would you want to hire Wade Phillips? I mean, straight up, just based on his resume, it's pretty good over the past couple of years, and he seems like a fun guy that the coaches and players both like. Type H down below for hire, type P down below for pass. And of course, we'll see. I mean, Saleh has to be signed as a head coach somewhere first, and then he brings in his own guys from our roster and our coaching staff, and then we can go ahead and hire somebody. But we'll keep you guys up to date when and if that actually goes ahead and happens. There you go. Ultimately out for today here on the 49ers Report. Want to get you guys up to date on the latest 49ers news and rumors on a Monday. Plenty more content coming in the next couple of days and weeks, so stay tuned. For the 49ers Report and Chat Sports, I'm Thomas Motz, signing off for the rest of your day.